Co-founder of American Veterans for Ukraine, Paul Rykov's here. Julian, take me through the reporting.
So we've known for all of this week that President Trump, ever since that Oval Office confrontation between President Trump, Vice President Vance, and President Zelensky of Ukraine, we've known that the White House has been angry with Zelensky, has been wanting to pressure him. And so first came the word that they were cutting off the military aid, and then today we had John Ratcliffe, Mike Waltz saying that they'd cut off the intelligence partnership. There had been some doubt. Some officials wanted to gradually ratchet up the pressure. Others just wanted more out of Zelensky. I mean, but make no mistake, this is the Trump administration pressuring the Ukrainians to agree to their terms on the minerals deal, on their approach to peace, which is different than the European approach, which is different than the Ukrainian approach.
Director Brennan, what is the consequence for Ukraine's ability to prevail or to continue to fight?
It's potentially devastating. U.S. support to Ukraine to confront Russian aggression has many different components to it. There are the weapons, there's the munitions, there's the logistical support and the technical systems that empower those capabilities. There's also military advice and guidance, and then there's intelligence. Intelligence is the lifeblood that gives all of those other components the capability to push back against the Russians. And so if you take away the intelligence, you're making the weapons, the capabilities, the munitions, technical systems, and other types of things enfeebled by taking that away. And so over the past, over a decade, the United States has been providing support to Ukraine to be able to build up its capabilities, but to, again, infuse their capabilities with the intelligence that we're able to obtain. And I must point out, this is not a one-way street. Over the past decade, the Ukrainians have provided a lot of intelligence to us, giving us insights about what Russian capabilities are. And so therefore, this extortionist approach to trying to get Zelensky to basically fold to the Trump administration's, wishes as far as some type of peace arrangement that looks more like a surrender, the way that Trump is talking about Putin and Russia. This using intelligence as that lever really is unconscionable. It's appalling. It's not surprising, though, in light of the fact that this is what the Trump administration does by threatening, by intimidating, but now also taking action to take away that intelligence feed that the Ukrainians rely on so heavily.
John, can the Europeans replace or fill the gap, or is the American intelligence product the more superior asset for a country like Ukraine at war with Russia?
Well, the U.S. intelligence community has by far the greatest capabilities, the most extensive and in-depth and accurate intelligence that's provided to the Ukrainians. Now, our NATO partners and other European countries provide intelligence to the Ukrainians, but it falls far short of what the United States is able to provide, because we are basically, again, the leading intelligence community, and therefore I think the Europeans will try to make up some. They can make up some, but if you pull out the plug of U.S. intelligence, it's going to make a lot of these capabilities and systems go dark. It's not going to allow the Ukrainians to know the next Russian military operation or drone strike or missile strike. It's going to lead to civilian deaths. It's going to lead to more casualties on the part of the Ukrainians, because it's the Ukrainian military that relies on that intelligence to be able to allow it to understand how to confront and deal and counter the next wave of Russian aggression.
I mean, Julian, how does the CIA simply turn off an alliance like this on the battlefield in terms of intelligence?
I mean, that is a great question. It's really hard, right? This is relationships. This is relationships that CIA officers have built up over months with Ukrainians, that the Ukrainian intelligence officers that they know well, that they trust, that they have trained up, right? This kind of order is really hard for an average intelligence officer to take. Like, they have been part of this war. They have been very much helping the Ukrainians in their successes, helping the Ukrainians in their defenses. Now, to be fair, they haven't just been providing intelligence. They've also been training the Ukrainians about using intelligence, gathering intelligence. So the Ukrainians are in a much better position today to use what Europe has given them, to use what they can collect themselves. Now, nothing is going to, as John pointed out, replace America's network of satellites, signals intelligence, human networks, but they have been trained well. But you're right, this is going to be enormously difficult. And I think a lot of CIA officers are likely hoping that this is only a temporary pause, that something happens to turn on the intelligence sharing again. Though, you know,